Be a good time, but we got to get there first, and so we got to get through Cycle 8 to do so. With that said, of course, we are coming off DreamHack. What a great event that was. Overall, it was a great tournament. Yes, let's be honest, the finals was a little bit anyways, in the end, the tournament overall, I had a lot of fun at least. A lot of the reactions seemed to be very, very positive, and it seemed like you, the viewers, really did enjoy it and it lived up to the hype for the most part at least. So with that said, of course, stay green. They are coming off with a DreamHack victory. However, Lion Esports Club, they're coming off back-to-back HoN Tour cycle victories. So it's going to be really interesting going into cycle number 8 here to see how things ultimately shape up. In fact, looking at the brackets here real quickly, before we jump into the match that, of course, we're going to be casting, as you can see on your screen. There you go. So these are the brackets for cycle 8. Of course, Lions, they are in that first place spot, hence coming off the cycle 7 victory. Of course, they took out Stay Creative once again. That matchup has been the grand finals matchup for the last 5 cycles, I believe it is. Will it be different here? Will it be different here, or will it be the same? Some things could help determine that, including the whole too much sugar situation, and a lot of people are going to be intrigued to see what happens with them this cycle. Of course, they're set to play Donkey Kong here in the first round. Definitely should be a winnable match, but in case you haven't heard yet, I know chat's already been talking about it a lot. It's been all over the forums and whatnot. After every single DreamHack, it seems like we definitely have some changes with rosters for the most part, and in this case, the big change was, of course, Keizu no longer a part of Too Much Sugar. I believe it had to do, they actually let him go from my understanding. He made a post on his Facebook about it, saying that they just didn't feel like they wanted to go a different direction, whatever it was. Anyways, Keizu is no longer a part of Too Much Sugar, so not only is it going to be interesting to see what Too Much Sugar who they replace him with, as I don't know if that's been official yet. I know Archie Tiger is actually in the roster for them this cycle currently. I think that might be more of just a substitute for now. I don't know if that's a permanent. We'll definitely have to get some news on that, whether that what the case is there. But of course, and then also, where's Keizu going to end up? I mean, this is a player. He's been around the HoN scene forever. He is a very, very solid player with a ton of experience on the competitive scene. I have no doubt he's going to find a good home here when it comes to the competitive heroes newer scene. And I still expect him to be making some big impact on some team somewhere. So with that said, though, we are casting, of course, a round of 16 match here. The first round, and the match that we decided to cast here was The Law taking on You Love to Party. And as always, you know, it's definitely a little difficult to choose a first-round matchup most of the time. You know, everyone has their opinion. Everyone wants to see, you know, their team that they love. And Too Much Sugar, obviously, a lot of credits for that. It gets to a point, though, in these earlier rounds, especially in the first round, I think it makes sense, you know, try to at least get a chance to cast some teams that may not get to get casted the most. In this case, You Love to Party. I don't think we've actually casted them before. In fact, once they saw we were going to be casting them, they were making the comments that they're really excited. And, you know, it's good to see that. This is a team that's actually been bouncing back and forth between that Diamond and Gold division. I think it's about time that they deserve to at least get casted here at HoNcast, see what they can bring to the table against, of course, a very sound team in The Law. And with that said, as you probably noticed by now, The Law, a little bit different of a roster than even what they had at DreamHack, of course. Of course, the biggest noticeable difference is you're looking at Pew, who's stepping up as the new captain, apparently, for The Law. So that kind of comes out of left field to an extent, to be honest. And that means, you know, that also means Team Excellent is basically 100% a new team. It's kind of interesting actually seeing that. Team Excellent, they're now Koala Ginking, which, of course, is Yolim. You got, again, Malay, Storyfooter, and Fine. So it really is basically a different team of Fine. Of course, he's the one player that, I guess Storyfooter as well, to an extent. He's been with them for a little bit, but, well, I guess Malay, it seems like they've been moving around a lot, to say the least. But, so it'd be fun to see how, you know, Team Excellent kind of forms. As overall, I mean, they're still, I believe, yeah, they're third place right now in the standings. So those players definitely getting a little bit of a nice seating there, and we'll see how that shapes up for them. But, yeah, Pew, of course, he's stepping into The Law now, and, again, as the captain, apparently. So we'll see how that fits for them and their situation. Other than that, of course, that also means that he's coming back to play with his former teammate in Brodex 5 level over here, who's a very, very sound player who actually got kicked from Team Excellent back when Pew was, well, the captain of Team Excellent even. So it is kind of interesting seeing that situation and seeing how that is going to play out as well. But anyways, here we are. We're moving along with the draft, so let's go ahead, take a look, and see what's happening when it comes down to the picks and the bans. As far as the initial bans are concerned, Keeper of the Forest, Scout, Warbeast, Ophelia, Obviously, pretty evident bans coming out right there. A lot of push, a lot of strong push. Suicide potential coming out by Team Excellent. You got the Scout and the Ophelia taken away by YLTP. First pick, Wretched Hag coming out for Excellent. You got Ravener Response, Engineer, Kraken, Tempest, and then Master of Arms to finish things off. So, YLTP, they do give up the Engie pick with going for the first pick, Ravener. And that is a little bit debatable, but they do get the Kraken on top of that. And then the Tempest eventually coming out for the Law. I look at the lineup so far. I definitely love where the Law's going when it comes to their lineup. The team fight, the lane's definitely setting up very nicely. They even end up getting the Pestilence on top of that, of course, and I'm sure that could very likely end up in the hands of Brodix 5 level, as long as the roles are at least the same when it comes down to it. Bubbles is going to be their final overall pick, so definitely a strong lineup coming ahead. Engineer, Pestilence lane, you got your Hag short lane, your Bubble, Suicide, and your Tempest in the jungle, most likely. Good to see Pew and Tempest as well. We all know about the Pew Tempest coming out here. As far as YLTP is concerned, we got their lineup: the Ravener, the Kraken, the Master of Arms, Torturer, the pickup coming out on top of their first three heroes. And then, of course, their final pick, still waiting to see. They got a little bit of time here to decide. I mean, looking at the lineup that they have currently, actually, it's going to be interesting. I mean, this is definitely a lineup that could even shape up to run an aggressive tri lane coming at you if they ultimately want to. In fact, something like a final pick Pharaoh here, I think, could be pretty solid, simply to help stop that Tempest ultimate if need be, and also just a very active player. You could play in that solo role, of course. They could do something like a Kraken and a Pharaoh solo, get a Ravener, Master of Arms, Tortured tri lane coming at you. And that could definitely do some good work here for YLTP. So we'll see, though, what that final pick is, though. But again, the idea of a 2-2-1 setup or even the aggressive trial lane wouldn't be out of the question. Predator is their final pick, so they want to go more of the route of we want to be able to out-carry you guys with the Predator pickup. And the Law, they got a very well-rounded lineup. They got the late game in Wretched Hag and even Pestilence. They got great team fight. They got great team initiation. So looking at these lineups again, I definitely lean towards the Law as far as just the overall potential of the lineup. Now, with that said, for YLTP, the Predator final pick, it seems like Predator, he had a lot of interest right off the bat when that 3.0 patch came out. I know I keep going back to that, but that was a huge patch. And speaking of that, maybe we could expect a big balance patch to happen here in the near future. I'm just saying. I don't know exactly the specifics, but I think it's about time we're due for a hefty balance patch, to say the least. So I'm looking forward to see what the very near future holds when it comes to balance, when it comes to competitive Heroes of New Earth especially. So it's going to be good fun. Heroes of New Earth still going very strong, definitely, man. And like I said, we got 3 more cycles remaining, then the playoffs, and then into the grandioso, the global grand finals even, for HoN Tour Season 2. So, yeah, competitive Heroes of New Earth definitely still going strong, to say the least. Anyways, with that said, you got the Predator up here. So how are they going to lane it? It looks like so far they're sending the Predator top by himself. So the potential of still seeing that aggressive tri-lane makeup is definitely not out of the question. They could also simply do more of that 2-2-1 style. I'm looking at it. I think that might be for the better. If they leave Predator at that top lane by himself to match up, say against this Bubbles. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they even send the Wretched Hag up into the top lane if they notice that YLTP is sending an aggressive trial lane. Either one of those, though, should have a decent time against that Predator. And you might not be able to get the kills on, say, the Wretched Hag or the Bubbles as you may want to. Now with the stunt lockdown, at the same time, it could be very possible. But you are going to be relying a lot on definitely getting kills and really abusing this tri-lane setup. So the Law, though, there's definitely a smart enough team over here to be able to make some adjustments pending what YLTP does. So got to keep hydrated, man. Got to drink that water. So good, man. Obviously after DreamHack, as it usually goes, exhausted. My voice was basically gone by the end, and definitely the next day I had trouble even talking to an extent, but it's so worth it. But, like I said, it's also, now that I've recovered, it's good to be back once again. It's good to be back and doing some more casting, man. I love doing the casting thing, of course. And, again, the DreamHack event, great event. Awesome meeting all the fans. Awesome doing the casting there in the live atmosphere. Beef was an awesome co-caster to have. Really enjoyed being alongside him as a co-caster. You have the Chaos Gaming, their production was, I think it's safe to say, pretty damn solid. when it came down to it. So really coming off an excellent DreamHack event. I can't wait to see how HoN Tour now resumes with Cycle number 8. Definitely had a little bit of a break here from HoN Tour, so got to get back into the groove, you could say. In fact, some players, I know for a fact, stay green. They're actually still in Europe as a team, I believe. I think they might actually be playing from a LAN center today as a team because they've been enjoying their winnings, and you know, they are known, especially the Freemans and whatnot, they're known for staying behind and having a good time and, you know, partying it up, and as they should, you know. They won yet another event here at the DreamHack Winter 2013, of course, and, you know, why not enjoy that victory? Why not enjoy it? So, but they are playing today, with that said. And, you know, with that said, I believe Beef is also still on travel, so unfortunately no Colecast this weekend, but he's also enjoying his time over there in Europe. But we got some HoNcast. That's what matters, right? So, all right, so looking at the lanes, though, they do ultimately do the 2-2-1 setup, and holy crap, Beaver up here. He's going to barely survive, taking some good pressure from Torture. Torture being played by Zudonix right there, doing a good job of boxing him out. And I believe, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I believe this YLTP team, they're a Danish team from Denmark, from my understanding. So representing Denmark here, this YLTP. Definitely has some sound history when it comes to Danish players on the competitive HoN scene. Again, I don't know if that's 100%, so I don't want to go too far into that, but maybe I'll get confirmation on that as the cast goes on. But again, so the top lane Predator, he's being set up to have a very good time up there. You got the Ravener Master of Arms versus the Pestilence Engineer here in the middle lane, and definitely, you know, a little back and forth going on. In fact, taking a closer look, Brodex 5 level on the Pestilence, 10-3, going up against the 6-1, now 7-1 Ravener currently. So. Pestilence definitely having a better time earlier, but actually Engineer might be in some trouble right here. Panny, he went for the room, but at what cost? Chain reactions coming up in 1 second. He's going to throw the auto attack, cancel the health bunch, and no chain reactions. There's a chain reactions. Finally comes out. Couple more auto attacks should do it. Panny's trying to stay alive. He's juking. He has a tree buff up, so he's regenerating some life. One more should maybe do it. Nice keg stun right there. Did Panny make the getaway? I think he might have actually. Oh, man, what a getaway. Oh, the auto attack. No, he's not going to be in range. Oh, he does hit. The chain reactions hits. And the auto attack to get the kill. You do see Pestilence coming in. Is it going to be enough, though? He doesn't have more mana for another Impale. Torture's on the run. No Gorpok's going to be coming out. And now Brodex needs to be careful. But Bubbles actually joins the party. The Courier's also in trouble, scouting him out, giving them some vision. Pestilence is chasing, using the bottle chargers. Can he get in range for Impale? No, he's just out of range. And Torture is going to survive. Bloodlust kill in favor of YLTP. And they fall back and survive. As now actually Ravener's going to jump Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles does not have a Shell Surf. No Stormblade's activated by Ravener right there, however. And in the end, Bubbles is going to be fine. Yeah, figuring he wasn't actually going to get the kill, so might as well save that mana and the cooldown even to be able to go back to the lane and continue farming there. But definitely a solid start for a Hellborn team coming out. Again, Bloodlust kill in favor of Torturer. Playing that support for Ravener there in the middle lane. Or excuse me, to Predator even at the top lane. As speaking of the middle lane, Pestilence going to be jump here. Kexana pushes Ravener back, but actually in more decent position. However, now he's being surrounded. He's putting in the auto attacks, though. Not going to be enough. Neither side's going to fall. Ravener does have bottle charges to use, which he'll use here shortly, I'm sure, as does Pestilence. So back and forth harassment. The Kexana definitely put him in an awkward spot, but in the end able to make his way out of there, and he was fine. Torture doing a good job of fake casting even the chain reactions right there to get the take cover use out of Beaver, but no initiation further than that. So definitely some good action here early on in this game as we were 4 minutes in. Let's take a closer look at the bottom lane, though. The last matchup left. Pew's actually in some trouble, though. Pew's going to end up falling. No, the stun comes out. He's on the run. One more auto attack. He's going to be cut off. There's no one to cut him off, so I don't know what I'm saying. Charge is going to be up in 4 seconds, though. Wretched coming in. Puts the HoN. Puts the soul up. The creeps. Is it going to be enough for the kill? Here comes the charge coming up. Can he get the angle? No, the keg stun hits. And Tempest is going to live. And now Kraken, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to tsunami charge away. Will he live? Yes, it looks like it. So both will end up surviving, excuse me, but Pew barely gets away right there with his life. And he's going to go back to farming in the meantime. So that was a very, very close call. But in the end, he's going to be fine. But again, taking a closer look at this bottom lane sequence here, 24-5, Kraken 13-1. So Kraken, you know, trying to hold his own. He's getting some okay levels, but definitely sequence on Wretched Hag is winning that farm. Now, overall, as you saw on the GPM chart, you look at Predator. In fact, Predator might be getting a kill right here. The take cover comes out. Not going to be enough, though. And, you know, Torture could have very possibly left that to be a kill for Predator, but in the end they get the kill. Want to guarantee that's what matters. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Pestilence in trouble. Impale comes out. The Kexon on top. The dot damage ticking down. Never mind, that's his own Q. But anyways, he will be fine. Will Ravener as he walks away from the tower damage. So some good aggression being kept up here by the Hellborn side. And again, Predator, he's continuing to look pretty strong. Now, you know, the big downside of this Legion team against Predator is that they do have a Tempest ultimate. So no matter what that the Stone Hide, as powerful an ability that is, doesn't really matter too much when you're getting locked down in a Tempest ultimate. Pending mitigating some damage, of course, while you're in it. So there actually is still a very good purpose of it. But the main point being, you can't, you know, avoid being caught in the Tempest ultimate if it's going to be coming out. So going to be relying on a lot of his teammates to be able to stop that ASAP as usual. You know, the other thing too is always the funny thing to keep in mind with the Stonehide is, you know, you think just like a free struck head basically. It mitigates magic damage as well as makes you immune to crowd control in that sense. However, it also does. Oh, actually, bottom lane. Look at that sequence. Actually, dot damage to tick down Kraken. Sure enough, gets going as I'm rambling on middle lane now being caught on. Pestilence again in trouble. Impales on. Oh, it hit Torture as well. Torture, he needed to be a fraction of a unit away further, and he would have been able to dodge that Impale stun. But Pestilence just able to land on Torture as well, and thus keeps him alive. So very, very close, and he wants blood, damn it. He's going back in. He's going to charge in here. Ravener is going to take the stun. Will it be enough? Kek's going to follow. It is going to be enough. Ravener being locked down, but Pestilence forced to run away. Ball lightning in from Ravener. Now Pestilence running back in. He has the bottle charges. They are still chasing. And Impale stun hits. And Ravener will go down when it's all said and done. Ravener, the decision of ball lightning back in right there. That arguably cost him his life ultimately in the end. So poor choice perhaps coming out from Senelix right there, as he just was trying to make some plays happen. So he's continuing to actually have a difficult time. As you know, you look at the charts, it's really struggling across the board outside of Predator. So they're going to be relying a lot on Nitio playing the Predator here to continue to have a very, very good time and ultimately help carry them to victory. But going back to the point as Wretched Hag having a good time down here, just dodging death. It also increases your armor by, I believe it's up to 12 if I'm not mistaken. Actually, they do find Hag! And Hag is going to be taken out. Great presence of mind coming out there by the Hellborn team to ultimately find Wretched Hag in the jungle and actually pick up the kill. So well played. Well played by You Lift a Party right there. Again, though, going back to the point of Pestilence, or excuse me, Predator, against your like Pestilence, yeah, it's up to 12 armor that you also gain when you activate the Stonehide. So it's not only just go for the CC immunity as well as reducing the magic damage you take, of course, or makes you immune to magic for that matter. It also buffs you up against the physical presence. So, you know, Pestilence will still be mitigated against the likes of Predator Stonehide. So it really is a well-rounded ability for a hero like Predator. It definitely helps him stand strong, of course, in those team fights. And hey, when he has a start like this, he went the Steam Boost first. You know, this is one of those games. You could argue that going for the Alchemist Bones could be an okay route, but at the same time, when your team is struggling as much as they are, I think of his team, especially the Ravenous, maybe having a better time. You know, more of that team around him doing good. Maybe okay, he is still going to go Alchemist Bones. That's the thing about Predator, though. Alchemist Bones, it is such a perfect item for him. He's all about that attack speed. Carnivorous, the synergy with the attack speed is a great duo, or great synergy of abilities and an item to have, or ability and stat to have for that matter. So it's still, you know, the Alchemist Bone's definitely still a sound pickup coming out right here. Middle lane, a lot of action though. Back and forth on both sides. Tempest, he has an ultimate. He's not choosing to use it just yet. There we go. There's the Elemental Void. Will this be enough now? Stun on the Tempest. Eventually stopping it. Ravener gets the ball lightning. Can he port with it? Yes, he can. He gets the kill just before. He's putting the auto attacks. Engineer will barely live, but no, he will not crack and ends up finishing him off. Beautiful setup from Ravener right there before he got taken out, and that's how it'll end. A 2-for-1 exchange. But Bad Blast coming out. It does hit 2 heroes. Will it be enough for any counter kills? Kraken, he is slowed down massively, and that will be enough to get the kill. You see the level 4 HoN coming out right there from Wretched Hag, easily enough to get the kill, at least on a Kraken. So it ends up being a 2-for-2. Good porting coming out from Sequence right there, because that could have been definitely a bit worse for them if it wasn't for that. So at least it ends up pretty sound. But again, going back to Predator, he does choose to go the Alchemist Bones route. So just as I was getting into that argument back and forth, again, if it was any other hero, I think you maybe have a little more validity to say, well, maybe this would be a little bit greedy because his team isn't necessarily doing the best, and he's gonna have to get involved earlier on. But that's a great thing again about the synergy of this hero and the item. It is an item that helps make it more useful even in the team fights to an extent with that increased attack speed, thus buffing up the Carnivorous. So, and the Terror for that matter, with ever since that got changed especially. So Yeah, it definitely it's a sound pickup here. Nothing against it. I think the Insanitarius next in line is very, very possible to come out here. Uh oh, Bubbles in trouble. He is going to take the chain reactions. Predator, though, was not on the same page. Predator choosing not to follow it up. It's not going to be enough for the kill. Bubbles, he is going to be fine, but oof, if Predator actually ran with Torture right there, he could have very likely leapt in and possibly could have ended up helping to set up the kill. But chose to continue farming. Kraken, in the meantime, he's in trouble. He does have his release of Kraken. He gets it off right there. Pestilence in a little bit of trouble. Ball lighting, will he go in? Yes, he will. Will this be the correct charge? Oh, nice charge from Kraken! And it does get the kill on a Pestilence. Beautiful teamwork right there from YLTP. Brodex 5-level falls. And a kill in favor of Kraken, who ended up getting jumped. And again, you see the GPM charts. I mean, that's a team. YLTP really not doing the best when it comes to that, but they're ahead 6-4 in hero kills. So, you know, Creep Farm might not necessarily be the best on their side outside of the Predator, but when it comes to hero kills, they're getting work done at least, so that's the good news. Reichenag does continue to be the top farmer on his team, but look at Predator, man, 422 gold per minute right now. He is well on his way to his next item, which, like I was saying, I think that Insanitarius makes a lot of sense here to really help buff him up after that Alchemist Bone pickup. You do see Kraken at the bottom lane. He is going to be able to port back before he gets caught. Sequence pushes in the bottom tower, so Kraken not able to do much there, but Torture is nearby. Torture is nearby. He's looking to maybe set something up. You do got Kraken coming in. Kraken, Ghost Marcher's picked up first item. That's actually a very interesting choice there. That's a very greedy pickup with the boot choice. And that's it. That's all he has. Again, that just really shows how struggling they are around it. The creep farm, it hasn't been the best. And, you know, I do wonder if that has a little bit to do with just whether it's their fault or just more so the law has been doing a good job of boxing them out, preventing the creep kills from happening. Ravener, though, we have an interesting fight brewing right here. Ravener is going to go in Kraken with a follow-up. Does he ever release the Kraken? He does not just yet. That might be the saving grace. Big energy field. Big time, though. No, it's stopped immediately, though. And down there's the lockdown on Ravener, though. He will eventually fall. Predator points in, though. Predator wants blood damage, and blood he will get. Down goes Tempest right there. Kelvin in the background, though. Predator doesn't have mana for his Stone High. This is a big deal. Predator's in trouble. Predator is going to end up falling. Oh, that is unfortunate. But in comes a release to Kraken. But by the time he gets it off, just enough, he will pick up a victim with him. It's only Engineer, though, and it ends up being a genocide for the law, man. You know, that goes back to the release of Kraken only having 10 seconds left on the cooldown. If he had that, maybe a little bit different, but the choice to go in right there by YLTP, probably not. I mean, yeah, hindsight, definitely not the best in the end, but you could even argue from the beginning. I mean, Ravener, he hit the ball lightning. You can tell, though, it's one of those cases. Just because you hit a ball lightning doesn't mean you need to jump in with it. It's a case right there where probably should have just let it go, you know, set up at the tower if anything. Predator was clearly not in the best presence to fight right there. He did not have enough mana to even use a Stone Hide after using the Venomous Sleep. And without a Stone Hide, I mean, that takes away a lot from the Predator hero, of course. So, in the end, he is obviously, or excuse me, YLTP definitely coming out big time on the downside of that fight as they get genocided. And now you're looking at a 3,100 gold lead and a 4,500 experience lead in favor of the law right here on the Legion side. So 13 minutes in, after that fight especially, you're feeling pretty good for the law if for whatever reason you weren't already. Again, it keeps going back to Predator, but now you look at the GPM charts. Reichenag actually surpassed the Predator in terms of farm. And speaking of hacks, Sequence has a light brand finish, so definitely has a good step there. Pestilence in the meantime, where's he at? 300 gold per minute. He's got 1530 gold saved up, so Portal Key is most certainly going to be coming up for him as far as his next item pickup goes. And in fact, he's coming back to the middle lane right here. They may want to try to set something up. Master of Farms. Wow, does he not see him? He's just on the uphill right there. There goes the Swarm debuff, but he is going to be fine. An Engineer going to throw out that keg just to make sure that he doesn't get caught out. So, yeah, YLTP, again, it's outside of the Predator for whatever reason, especially that middle lane. I mean, I still am taken back by the lack of farm on Ravener. I mean, he is 0-3-3, but his creep farm is just low. Frankly, it's just low. Only 38-8 creep farm score. And it's not like it was a dominating lane that they were going up against by any means. I mean, there was a Pestilence Engineer versus a Ravener Master of Arms. Both sides definitely have their strengths there, and if anything, you would expect Ravener to actually be able to have a decent time when it comes down to his creep farm. But it just, again, for whatever reason, really was not able to get the best of farm. And That's definitely a significant factor right now in this game as to why the Law is really in a much better spot at this point. Again, that Porta Key is coming up pretty quickly here, 1,700 gold. He goes the other Parasite on Predator. That is a little more of a greedy build, or greedy decision there. Sure, it does still beef you up a little bit, of course, with the new build of it, with the Beast Heart requirement. But you know, taking that amp damage in those team fights, especially if you're not able to get that stone hide up, that can really screw you over. But, you know, they are at a point where they are behind by quite a bit. Keep going back to that. Meanwhile, speaking of that, they try to jump in the middle lane. Energy Fuel comes out, though, and now they're in trouble. Torture trying to kill it, but he can't kill it, and he might fall. Yes, he will. Coming to the background. There's a stone hide, but he could not get out of stun range before. We're off Bat Blast encounter, and now they're in trouble once again as YLTP Predator. He's going to end up falling, and another cleanup by the Law. And now they're going to push the middle tower, and I don't know if YLTP has much party left in them, in terms of staying in this game right now. So Master of Arms is going to go for the deny. Unfortunately, missing the attempt right there. Good attempt nonetheless, but in the end, tower falls, and that lead just continues to grow. Now up to 7,700 gold lead, as well as the 9,100 experience lead. So did he even use the Elder Parasite in that fight, I wonder? I want to say he did. It's only a 30-second cooldown, so it probably came up by now. I want to say I saw him, he actually had it up. But still, you know, even if that wasn't Insanitarius, I'm not saying it would have been a different fight by any means. So it was just simply, it was the better initiation for the Legion team. When the YLTP was going in, I mean, the energy field was still up, just about to wear off. And by then, the Law had numbers there. And obviously, they were ready to fight. So you got Wretched Hag right now. He's getting very close to finishing that that Grimoire power. Again, arguably even more important, though, the Porta Key finished on Pestilence. And in fact, he's going to use it right here. He jumps Ravener, but he is by himself. So Brodix 5 level just saying hi, just kind of tapping him on the shoulder a little bit, and then quickly falling back before anything happens. In terms of a response right there. So he is going to be fine, but you just look across the board on this Hellborn side. The items just not adding up. I mean, Ravener, he's still working on build up here. He just got a Mystic Vestments to go with the Steam Boots and the bottle, but doesn't have any kind of farm to get much else right now. Kraken, you still look back at him, and the lack of even getting a Mystic Vestments here. Okay, he doesn't he does have Mystic Vestments actually, but again, even going the Ghost March is very greedy there with that decision. Sure, maybe a small thing, but Ghost March is definitely greedy, especially with the way this game was going. It does help them set up a kill right there, though, perhaps. So 90-0 actually on Predator 1 getting credit for the kill. He's even hits level 12 right there, so he is tied at the highest level in the game, although the experience per minute is even slightly higher by Hag. In fact, she just hit level 13, so that makes sense. So Predator's farm 400 gold per minute. Again, that was just it doesn't seem like it might not be enough, but this could actually be a big play right here. Ravener jumping an Engineer being locked down. He got the energy field off, but he falls. Torturer taking the silence. He's going to be fine though. Pestilence forced to walk away. This time Predator did not port in. He just continued to farm the top lane. So obviously in this situation, working out a little bit better there, as Predator is going to continue to clean up farm at the top side. You see Bubbles coming up here, but going to try to prevent him from pushing into tower. 0 tower kill still for the Hellborn team, where the Law has 2 tower kills themselves. So that's another thing that's of significance here as to why maybe as a team too that YLTP is unfortunately not in the best of spots in terms of their farm and whatnot. Wretched Hag Grimoire power just finished, and that is a well, that's a powerful item to have on her, of course. And she actually gets a double damage rune, and she ports right to the top lane. They're going to look to push this top tower right here. You do see our Hellborn team. There's someone in the vicinity. Predator's finishing off these creeps here, but you got Torture nearby, as well as Kraken for that matter. Kraken, I feel like he should be saving up for something, but he's only sitting on 580 gold, so again, it's only 203 gold per minute. Just the creep farm, just overall, just really not the best on the Hellborn team right here. So the top tower easily going to be destroyed by the Law. No resistance put out, and they're just still going to keep going. Porta Key on Tempest, by the way. I don't know if he just picked that up or if he's had that. I want to say he just picked that up because I thought I saw just the Ring of Sorcery and Pedigree a couple minutes ago. But, oh, middle lane, what's going on here? Cupfield initiation, and here's the response. Not going to see, hits Kraken. He got the charge off, though. Off to the side, Master of Arms like, I can't get away, damn it, and he will eventually fall. Torture's able to get away initially, but he might be locked down right here. Master of Arms eventually goes down. Torture on the run. He doesn't have his tablet just yet, though, and this should be enough easily for a kill. Yep, they're going to finish him off. I mean, I do like the decision by the Hellborn side, at least not to commit more right there. because that could have been disastrous if that was the case. So they decide to fall back there. Supports get picked off. It does suck, yes, but could have been a lot worse. So Predator, I mean, he has another 2,400 gold saved up. Kind of wondering, does he go for that Insanitarius, or will he go for something more like that Soul's Bulwark here? I could definitely see the Soul's Bulwark being a pretty good choice for him when it comes down to it. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if the Stonehand removes Swarm. I mean, maybe somebody in chat 6 minutes from now could confirm that or not. But if the Stonehide would actually remove Swarm, does the Shrunken Head remove Swarm? I don't know if it does. I want to say it doesn't. I want to say it doesn't, but I might be wrong on that. It very likely could at the same time. And I know you can actually apply it through it. So it might actually work like that with a Silence, where you can actually take it off, but it could be applied through it still. But anyways, in the meantime, Pestilence, he's going to be jumped on. Predator going for Engineering. Got the energy field off, but look at how fast Engineer dropping with a nice kite coming out. And now Predator's in trouble. He's going to end up dropping all four, killing Engineer. Look at that combo from the Law. A hat trick for Sequence, a genocide for the Law. And that should do it, if anything. I don't know if You Left to Party is going to be partying much longer once again. I know he used that line already, but it just fits so well. Predator buys back, so does Ravener. They're going to go for a last stand right here. Perhaps this tower, it is, it's going to be held off in the end. I mean, the buybacks are enough to scare off the Law, it looks like, or is it? Will they do kind of a fake fallback here or not? Is the question. Probably not. Again, the Law's not really in any hurry to necessarily get this finished going. They've had pretty good control of this game now for the last for quite a while, since that first genocide they picked up. Of course, is definitely more and more in their favor now. Anyways, Predator is going for the Insanitarius. You know, I was working along the lines of, whether or not that Swarm could be removed with the Stone Hide, and so maybe the Soul's Bulwark not as important for that purpose, but even so, I mean, Soul's Bulwark still would be a great item to pick up here, and I'm sure even eventually. But he is choosing to go for really that trio of the Elder Parasite, the Alchemist Bones, and the Insanitarius first, at least, when it comes down to it. So that is going to be coming up here in the near future. And as we saw last fight, though, I mean, that's the cool thing about the turret slow from Engineer. Actually, it is physical, so it was going through the Stone Hide of Predator right there, and he was getting slowed. He almost did not even kill Engineer at that point. I mean, he barely got the kill into him, but it definitely came at a huge cost, of course. And as in the meantime, his team was locked down in the background by a Kelfoot, I believe it was, and the energy field was also kind of boxing them out. So yeah, Predator was really picking a fight without his team support. And that proved to be a flaw when it came down to it, and the decision making there. So, again, our YLTP, they're going to keep in it. They're going to continue to try to make something happen here against the Law, but the Law looking fairly good early on. 570 gold per minute now for Wretched Hag. You see Pestilence right here. He's kind of scaring off. He's scaring off the Hellborn team. That simply is an illusion right there, but the real one is nearby, granted, so it's still probably be worth to fall back as they did. Nice use of the Alchemist Bones right there to take out the Campman Champion, I believe it was. And we'll finish off the illusion. In the meantime, Ravener just trying to pick up any farm he can get at the bottom side. He now has a 1,200 gold saved up on his side. There's the Insanitarius finished, but perhaps if Ravener can get that portal key here, could be a big pickup for them to have at this point. Kraken, a Tablet Command, a Torture would also be big, and he's continuing to kind of get close to that. Kraken actually might be going for the Soul's Bulwark himself, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think the full Demonic is just such a strong item on Predator especially, so I think you might just be better off letting him get that. And then if anything, Kraken should be going for arguably something like a Shaman's into a Barrier Rattle against this Legion team, but with that chainmail pick, or the ringmail pickup, excuse me, it could be Barbed Armor, which definitely wouldn't be a bad choice, or it could be that Soul's Bulwark, of course. We'll see what Majestics decides to go for here, if he's even able to get it at this point. But bottom tower easily pushed in. You got Pew leading the way right there, getting credit for the tower kill. He's on his way to that Shrunken Head, and as always, it goes back to, well, what can stop it? Release the Kraken, the only thing that's going to be able to at this point. Wretched Hag. She has that double damage rune bottled up on top of the Shrunken Head and Grimoire now. So is she level set? Oh yeah, she's level 17. Let's say she's level 16, but yeah, she's level 17, so she has a level 3 Bat Blast as well. We all know how much damage that can do in those team fights, and hell, we even saw the last team fight. Once the Bat Blast came out, especially, it really cleaned them up. Helped set up the hat trick for her and the genocide for the Law. So Things slowing down a little bit in terms of trying to finish this game as a law, but again, they're not in a massive rush by any means, although Predator is continuing to get more and more built up. It's the surrounding cast still not doing too much, where on the other hand, the law, they have several heroes that are getting bigger and faster, harder and stronger, or whatever Daft Punk says. Harder, faster, harder, stronger, faster. How's it go? Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. Harder, better, faster, stronger. That's what it is. I had to actually sing it out. Oh, boy. Good old Daft Punk. They actually came out with a new song recently. It's pretty good, as always. Anyways, getting sidetracked. Bottom lane, you see that double damage rune activated on Wretched Hag. She's going to probably just poke in a little bit right here. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be jumping by herself on a Predator, but saying what's up. Getting Predator to fall back. Ravener, 1670 gold saved up. So again, getting closer and closer now to the to that Shrunken Head pickup. Top side, you got Predator up here. He too is working towards that Shrunken Head. So it seems like that's going to be a big progress here for the Law. Get the Shrunken Head on Tempest and maybe even Pestilence, and then look to really try to finish this game. At that point, I'm sure even something like a Sheepstick could be finished on Wretched Hag as well. So they prioritize farm to Ravener right there. So again, they really are just trying to get that PK as soon as possible. It'll be a pretty late PK, but better late than never. As I say that, he's going to be jumped. Swarm comes out. Look at him, just starting to draw. Master runs in the background, gets the Fork Lightning. The Kelfield hits, though. And Ravener easily drops. So not much Master of Arms could have done right there. I mean, he didn't even stun, to be honest, but I don't even think that would have been the biggest difference maker. So, Jinx the Ravener, so close to the portal key, and the Law's like, no, you're not getting your portal key just yet. They stop him from doing so. That's got to be frustrating. Predator at the top side. He's level 16. He's going to be up here. He does have enough money for another buyback. That would be his last buyback, remember. It does, okay. So, that's that. Yeah, just to clarify that. So yeah, it can be purged off. Again, kind of like the silence mechanic. So it can be purged off, but as far as being able to reuse it, then yeah, you are able to reuse it. So for like the Stone Hide, aka the Shrunken Head, really that same concept. So yeah, he is able to remove it if he has it on himself with the Stone Hide, of course, but it could just be reapplied. And again, that is a short cooldown. It's only 10-second cooldown here on the Swarm, so not the biggest deal in the world. Yeah, Engineer's been doing a pretty good job of getting his ultimates off pretty much all these fights. Whenever it seems like he starts to get jumped, it's like, well, the energy field's down, so he's done his job, really. That goes back to the target choicing here for You Lift the Party. If Engineer's a good target, but if he gets his energy field down, then it kind of defeats the purpose to an extent, so arguably you want to go elsewhere if possible. You do have Predator picking up a Mighty Blade. I could see that either being a Brutalizer or just even a full Shrunken Head at this point. Yeah, sure he has a Stone Hide, but ultimately he does have an Elder Parasite though, so that would be the one thing that maybe it wouldn't be a Shrunken Head. Just can't activate them on top of each other. So yeah, perhaps leaning more towards that Brutalizer. Probably makes more sense to have that extra lockdown for the likes of something like the Wretched Hag. Who's speaking of her, she pours to the bottom lane and going to continue to farm down there. So more cleanup coming out from the Law. Once again, they're not looking to finish this game ASAP, but I mean, the lead is just continuing to rise. So I was going to say, I mean, they might not want to wait too long at the same time, but the overall lead, I mean, now 20,000 gold lead, 19,000 experience lead in favor of the Law. So just over 28 minutes in. It's just continuing to grow. Torture only level 8. That's another thing that really stands out, unfortunately. Not having the best of time on him. And again, the GPM, just Ravener or Kraken, they just cannot even... I don't know if I've seen them even above like a 220 goal per minute mark. It's just, they just cannot get anything going this game as far as their GPM is concerned. Usually you see at least them start to recover, especially when the game slows down like this, but again, for whatever reason, just has not been able to happen. They're just struggling to stay above 200 GPM even, so... Kraken does go to Soulsborne, and that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, how the full demonic, especially on Predator, is just so strong. But feeling like they want that, they want to allow Predator to go for the Brutalizer, perhaps, as far as his next item choice. So they do have a Soulsborne at least, and I mean, I think you could even argue. Probably not. Well, Sons is going to say maybe give me defensive, but he gets jumped right here. Bypass Sons. Here comes the counter, though. They do get the crack up at a what cost. Pestilence being locked down. Energy field is out. Predator is not here, though. Tampa's only tried it. It gets it off eventually. Master Von's going to be pulled in. They will get the kill, but now here we go. Predator leaps in. The auto attacks on the Tempest. Siege chain reactions in. Wretched Ag jumping in, though. Tempest is going to end up falling. Predator still going. He goes for Wretched Ag, not able to chase him down. Then the blink comes out, and now Predator is going to be locked down. Predator is going to fall. And that should be another genocide. Down goes Ravener. Double tap for sequence. Genocide for the law. And yet again, will that be the end now? Will that be the end? Do they have any buybacks? They do on Predator. That is it. That would be his last buyback, of course. So they're not going to give up. You figure he's going to buy back right here? Yeah. I don't know if that was intentional or not from Brodex. That was kind of silly right there. I think he might have been buying a TP for some reason or whatever, but yeah, he simply got too close to the well, and by the time he tried to react, wasn't going to happen. So again, they are not going to get the tower. So again, they are going to be able to hold it off right here. As you do see, the Laws falls back. So you love to party. They're going to keep it going just a little bit longer tonight. No more buybacks on Predator, though, of course. Very significant here. So, I mean, that fight right there is a little bit better for the Hellborn team, but a lot of that did have to do with the law. They weren't there as a team for a good bit right there. And then in the end, obviously, the cleanup came, especially Wretched Hag. By the time Wretched Hag got there, then that's where it really started to go in the Legion's favor. So Wretched Hag with that sheepstick, I don't even know if I mentioned that. I don't think I did yet, but has a full sheepstick, 16 more 100 gold saved up. So Sequence's farm is just continues to go on the up and up. 630 gold per minute right now. Pestilence has a Soul's Bulwark on in the works right here. Or is he have it? No, yeah, it's in the works. As the chainmail finished. Picked up even. So Soul's Bulwark for him going to be coming out. Yeah, again, that goes back to Kraken. I was going to say you could even argue that. Maybe he just couldn't even argue, put that on defensive here at this point. But he's actually might be in trouble here. Yep. He's going to be he actually charges Pestilence with him. Oh, go figure. That could have been time. That could have worked out if he happened to charge right as Pestilence porter keyed in behind him or something like that, and he would have charged away. But even with the flight, though, it probably still would have got chased down. So it's kind of a funny sequence of events. We can laugh about it. He's probably a little frustrated, but hey, you know, it's a game in the end. Ravener going to turn this around. Pestilence going a little too ballsy right here, and that shows. Zudonix actually picking up the kill on Torture of all heroes. Predator doing most of the work, of course, but good turnaround coming out from You Love to Party at least, making Pestilence pay for the greed. And now they're going to push out the bottom lane right here. So once again, the Hellborn team still standing strong. They still have all their towers in their base. Have they killed the tower yet? They did kill the middle tower. That's right. Was it a 9? I'm trying to think. I think they did actually kill that tower. But anyways, that's the only one that's dead. Oh, they want to try to jump right here, but Ravener misses the ball lightning. And now here comes the response. Ravener getting way too tunnel vision. He's going to eventually fall. Torture a couple of auto attacks. And he just gets melted. In the meantime, Kelpa going to be coming in the background. Massive Arms gets caught. Predator says, screw it, I got to go. He goes right for Engineer. Engineer will fall before the energy fill, but will it matter in the end? Predator, he has a Brutalizer, and look at the Brutalizer working. Tempest comes in, though. He has an ultimate. They release the Kraken. Tempest is going to sit in it. Predator picks up the kill on the bubbles. Kraken going for Wretched Hag. Wretched Hag putting the auto attacks, and now Kraken's going to be kited. The Sono Scream to finish him off, but Predator does live. Predator does survive as he heads back to base right here. And he's going to reach, and they do have a buyback on Kraken. He won't have his ultimate. They do have a buyback on Kraken, though, and actually Wretched Hag might need to be a little careful, because if Predator leaps in and gets a Brutalizer proc, he could definitely pick up a kill right here. Torture coming in as well. Melee racks exposed. But you do see the Legion team. They are going to start falling back for now. And that should be the end of that once again. So Predator using the Alchemist spell, top clean up the creep wave. His GPM, 445 GPM, gold per minute for the matter. 1663 gold saved up, and oh, there's a fake ball back. Tavis goes back in. There's the ultimate. That's going to be a perfect one in the back row, but zero follow-up. In the meantime, his teammate got picked. Wretched Hag got picked. Pestilence finally gets in there, but Predator is still strong. No sign up for 5 more seconds. It doesn't matter, though. Tempest going to be killed, and Pestilence has to run away. So You Love to Party. They are still keeping going. And they are actually holding on. They're holding on to dear life, and sure, a little bit has to do with the law and them getting a little over greedy at these last couple of fights. Understandable when they have a lead. Benny, he's not afraid to call it his own team in public chat. All right. And they actually might need to be careful with the bottom side here. If Congore's up, of course, they're going to go for it. This could be a good Congo steal. There is no vision. They got vision up here near the observatory, but the law doesn't have vision at the Congo pit, so they might have an idea that it's going on. In fact, they are heading in that direction. But they do not have a Wretched actually has a buyback. Tempest does as well. But, oh, are they going to be a jump? Yes, Pesa's going to be jump first. Here we go. Craig up and an ice kick's not coming out. They pass out on top of that. Predator, he's trying to get a range. He couldn't get there quick enough. They need to get back into Congo now. They need to finish off Congo. They cannot let this distract them. Torch is going to box him out. Congo's locking down Predator. Can they actually kill Congo here? It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close. Ravener jumps. Engineer locked down. Engineer will fall. Congo goes down. There's a catch on the Pesas with the release on Kraken. Double tap. Predator barely stays alive. He gets the token of life. Is this an MSI comeback, ladies and gentlemen? Is this a comeback in the making? Oh, my gosh. I can't believe they're... I thought for sure a concede vote was going to be coming out after that last fight finally by YLTP, but they say no. They say no. We're here to win, damn it. And they are going to stay alive just a little bit longer now. I mean, Predator is scary, man. He is scary, scary, scary. He's got that brutalizer. Very nice lockdown with that when the procs come out, which is pretty frequent, especially with the attack speed that he has. Especially with that Elder Parasite activated. I mean, Ravener, he's working on a shrunken. It's the supporting cast though. I mean, the kids made this comment earlier. It seems like even Kraken and Ravener, they can't even get above 220 GPM. I mean, Ravener's at 230 now, but that's just, I mean, Kraken's at 190. It's just the supporting cast just continues to get absolutely nothing here on the Hellborn side, but they are still just barely hanging in there by a thread. And Predator is the big part of that, of course. And the next question is, where does Predator go from here? He's got that token of life now, but it's in that interesting spot of, do you sell? I think you could sell the Alchemist Bones to ultimately pick up a. I would think something like just a full-on Behemoth art here would make a lot of sense for Predator to really help with that tank, but also help increase a bit of damage. You do see a Frostfield play picked up. A right click coming out there from Wretched Hagen. Definitely like that decision. When Predator is just the majority, pretty much all their damage. In fact, look at the damage chart. Okay, well, I actually expected Predator to be a little bit higher, but I guess, he hasn't been doing a whole lot of hero fighting individually. Torture actually leading the way with all that harassment. But anyways, point being, Predator is the scary damage dealer in those team fights ultimately, of course. And all about physical. Kraken on top of that for that matter as well, too. So, oh yeah, Predator needs to be careful. You saw the law. They were setting up to make a jump happen right there, but not able to find the chance in the end. And they'll fall back and push in the other lanes. There's still only that one tower kill for the Hellborn team. So that's kind of another, that's kind of another one of those good and bads. I mean, obviously it's bad that they've only been able to pick up one tower kill in nearly 38 minutes now, but it's kind of good because that means all those towers are still up to be able to kill to get those resources at this time in the game. So that's still something, but here we go. There's the jump. Predator, he's going to be fully locked down. Talbot comes out. The Sheepstick on top of the team support. They're trying to assist. The Wretched Hagen going to be locked down. Their attempts on the mid will come Predator, but will they be able to follow this up? Yes, they will. Engineer energy field goes down. Predator being locked down once again with the silence. He finally gets the stun off. He's putting an auto attacks, but it's not going to be enough. He will eventually be bursted down. Good execution coming out of there from the law, and I think it might be happening. You left the party. They fought the law, but the law won. I finally was able to say it. GG well played's coming out. So game number one. That said, again, that's just game number one, guys. Game number one going in favor of YLTP, or excuse me, of the law right there over YLTP. It was a fun game, especially for a round of 16 matchup. Again, YLTP, it's the first time we've cast them here on Oncast, and definitely a fun team to watch. But in the end, it goes back to the other lanes. I mean, especially that middle lane, the Ravener. Master of Arms combination, the farm, it's not to call it players by any means, but it just seemed like the Ravener just was not able to really get farm throughout the whole game, as creep farm just continued to be pretty low throughout it. The GPM never really got high, and Predator, as good of a start he had, without the team support, you can only do so much, of course. So The Law, they played as a team, at least better than YLTP Party for most of that game, and that definitely showed. That definitely showed as the victory eventually came through. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 going in favor of our Legion team right there, The Law. But we'll see. Game number 2, what's going to be happening? Stay tuned. We got HoN Tour season number 2.